Jaka jingangnud ban pynioh ïaki Riew Tymmen ki bamdon ki nongsumar bat ba peit ba khmih ïaki lani ka Jaka shong Jaka sa bat Jaka Sumar ïaki ka Kripa Foundation hapoh ka jingpeit jingkhmih jong ka kong Victoria Wahlang mynta ka sngi ka la Plie Paidbah ya Kawei ka Jaka ri bat Sumar ya ki Riew Tymmen ya ka balatip kum ka Kripa Victoria Senior Citizen Home ha Umroi. Ya Katei ka ïing la Plie Paidbah mynta ka sngi da Father Joe Pareira ubalong Founder Trustee jong ka Kripa Foundation haka jingdonlang ka kong RM Kurbah Secretary ka Tanat Health and Family Welfare Department ka kong kabalong ka District Social Welfare Officer Ri-Bhoi District bat kiwei ki Riew ba. Katei ka Jaka ri bat Sumar ya ki Riew Tymmen kan ai jing syakri ya ki tu ki Riew Tymmen ki bamdon shisha ki nongpeit jingkhmih bat ki mas Sumar ya ki haka bakin yo Jaka thia bat Jaka Sumar kababiang bakim don kam ban siu bat labu ru ya ki kamra thia ki bahab ban siu bat nakatei ka pisa on sa penbiang pat ya ka jingdon kam syakatei ka Jaka thia ki Riew Tymmen ki bamdon kam siu.
Nadu makanang khina nga satsu. You know, ngadan ka to kamensiyan ng tagi-diki, but tumenti nga stunat, ikitaman. They have done with them, let's go Singapore, no? I visited this old age home. I was so impressed by getting take care of the organizer. Then, dangalit sa Shillong, dangadan pisa, nagsinakom kani, which is not possible because they have got 10 acres of land. And the facilities which they give also, super. Then, nalit po Calcutta, only home to Commander Teresa, and nalit ang to kakta pala yung ang to, yung kumni ang kwa ikibriw bakit dong kitamente bakit bam kumni I will give them the best na mabalay few more years take in kidiban kemen kidiban yo kababahatam ken siya bakit let na kami kapute katakan tingakran bikikon mga sharat whatever it is, this will be my last project. And I want it to happen. Like semi-private and these cottages will charge them. Whatever money we get from these private rooms, then we'll take care of the dormitory. But I have a fixed amount from my whatever savings I have to go straight to the dormitory. Those who don't have anybody to take care. Hindi kito gibawan no. Kito gibam dan si sama no but take care again. We will take care. Give them shelter.
Not from our being all right. No. Kara means to suffer with. So we who are coping with our addictions and whatever will also share this brokenness and pain with people who come here to experience their ongoing love. I'm very happy that you mentioned this need, particularly because in the context of today's world, there is a dilemma. Young people have had to go abroad and today in United States and many other countries, if you see the Indian person has excelled. You know, so many of us, and their parents are here. Some of them have taken them there and they have given them some kind of citizen's home, but nothing like home sweet home. And India is unique, and particularly Meghalaya. I call Shillong and Meghalaya the Switzerland of India, because really I wish to bring more and more. I teach yoga in 44 countries, and whenever they come to Goa, I'm going to ask them to spend some time here also and see this wonderful place. Let me come to the most important part of this happening. And that is that this is not our work. You know, I teach yoga, and in the 46th verse of the second adhyaya, which is Kriya Yoga, Patanjali says, Prayatna Shaitilya Ananta Samapatibhyam. All our human effort is useless till it dovetails into God's grace. What's the word for grace? Kripa. So I ask God's special blessing upon this, because we come together to reach out to people in love. And love is the only answer. I have two organizations within Kripa. One is for the afflicted, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous. And the other is Family Systems Therapy, which is Family Anonymous and Al-Anon. I hope some of you are belonging to that. Because we need to understand the mind of recovering people, as we need to understand also the mind and heart of senior citizens.
Partner have the chance to stay with their children, very few. Because the world has come to such a stage and time that in our country we could never think of having such a facility. I mean, we can't even dream of that, because we always say that, it kind of hurt when you say you have to keep somebody in old age home. So, but then we look at the situation now with modernity, and of course with the unemployment issue that we have now, people have to move out. Most of the children have to move out, and taking their parents along with them becomes an issue. And that is for the people who can, who cannot take them. It becomes a problem and a concern for the children as well as for the parents too. But then this kind of situation has arises in this modern world where we have a lot of where the nuclear concept, family concept has come in. So of course it is a concern, but at the same time we can't just sit back and look at not finding solution. And the very fact that in our state we have one old age home and it's very packed, right? And of course David is here, you can vouch that to a close friend. We kind of foresee in the future that we will have to get more of this kind of facility. And I'm very glad that as a private Sherrod and his family has taken up this upon them to start this facility. I think so it's a good move, and eventually when people become comfortable with the idea, maybe we can expand on this. This is something new, something which I've always, I was also in social welfare at one point of time as a director, and there was one occasion when I had spoken to the then Chief Minister that, so we do need this kind of facility for the senior citizen, because we have just one in the state, and most of the children, mind you, most of the children are working outside. And we can't stop them, they have to grow and they have to fly, and we can't hold that against them that they should leave us. So we need to do this. And of course, it has not happened. And the other day when you told me that this idea has come with Kripa coming up with this concept, I felt like, okay, there's a ray of hope, that for such people who don't have anyone, not because they don't have the children, but because of the circumstances that, they need to come out of their home and stay in such a facility. And I hope that, this facility will expand, this facility will grow, and I know, because coming from a Kripa Foundation, where you've taken care of people who were, I won't say rejected, but people who need help. Okay, so we have this, your foundation, which has shown result, that has helped people, helped young people, in fact, in the very, since 1985? 81. So 1981. So since then, you have shown results. People have come up and have come back to normalcy, to normal life. So we hope that this new route that you're going to take from today onwards will be a successful one, will be a model for which others to adapt and to create more of such facility in the district.
Population here in our country, of which 51.54% are males and 48.46% are females. And with the years go by, and in the advance in research and technology, there is a decline in fertility and mortality rate, and there is an increase in child survival. There is an increase in life expectancy as well. And with the increase in child survival, with the increase in life expectancy, there is also a significant feature of demographic changes in terms of the number of elderly persons which are on the increase. Okay, and as we can see from surveys that there are about in the last 50 years, the number of our population has increased, and not only that, the number of elderly persons has increased fourfold. The number of population has increased threefold, whereas the number of senior citizens or elderly persons has increased by fourfold. Life expectancy of a person has increased. In 2005, the life expectancy of a person is only 65 years. That means the lifespan of an individual or of a person is only up to 65 years. But now we can see there is an increase of life expectancy to 75 years. So that means there is better medical facility, there are better medicines, there are better research work, and with this facilities with better research, there is also liberal family planning, which made the elderly population the fastest and growing extension population in India. 35% of the elderly population belongs to the below poverty line. Of this, 60% are residing in the rural areas, and 90% of this do not have social security. That means they are just living from hand to mouth, or they are dependent on their children or their family for their survival.
What we've done is that prior to the opening, we had already kept it on the newspapers for any employees that want to work here, nurses, doctors. So from that background check, we've already started training all the staff that we've employed. How it's going to start. We've given them training in Kripa De-Addiction Center for Children. They've been there for a month now, especially for documentation purposes, legalities and everything. The other thing is that from a legal perspective, we've been working with a lawyer for the past 2 years on this. Because the last thing we want is, we don't want anybody to say that, oh, we've set this up and then we have any legal issues. We don't want any of that. So the entire legal team background check, that will also be done by our lawyers, and also from our outreach workers to actually go and see the facilities where they live in, whether or not they need shelter or not. Because so the outreach team that we have, which is a team of counselors as well, to really see whether they need the care, because we don't want, like Mom had said earlier, somebody to use this as a dumping ground. We don't want that. We want people to come here. It's like their final wish as well, and we want to take care of them. And we want to take care of them the best way we can. I think Kripa has grown because of the facilities that we've provided for them, and we want to do the same here.
You're so young. Why you want to do all of this? Don't you want to go on clubbing and?
Our journey started, I think, in 2012. I think 2012. I perpetually fell ill quite badly. I think that was the second time I fell ill, and I was, then I realized at that time doctors couldn't really take care of me, or they said that I need a surgery every 7-8 months, right? Apollo, and also I met Father Joe, and then he said that come with me to Rishikesh. I'll give you something, and with blind faith I said, okay, let's go. And I never looked back since, and neither did I have to visit a doctor after that. So because of that, I think I feel like I need to serve. Serving man's like serving God, and this is what I can do. This is the best I can do is just give time not only to the clients, but to the to my staff. They are caregivers. Teach them.